Hello everyone, welcome to the 13th episode of The Ruins of Warsaw. I'm Alexandra and I'm the Storyteller.
Hi, I'm Dolores and I play Janina of Clan Bruja.
Hi, I'm Faye and I'm playing Beatrice of Clan Malkavian.
Hi, I'm Aurora and I'm playing Mara of Clan Masquerade.
Thank you so much for being with us for the continuation of our story. And let's jump straight back in with a brief recap of the last episode, when the coterie brought Leonard, a Malkavian, whom they discovered as a person responsible for a recent Masquerade breach. They brought him to meet with Antony, the Hound, who then took them all to Hotel Bristol for Leonard to be introduced to the prince. The issue with the whole thing was that, first of all, Leonard was a child of Bruno, created without permission. And secondly, he told some of his friends about his conditions, not knowing about kindred laws, but subsequently agreed for them to run away and didn't want to disclose anything about them. And things in his conversation in the prince were going pretty badly, but Mara stepped in and asked for him to be spared, also taking upon herself responsibility for sorting out the situation with the remaining mortals who know about kindred. After that, the coterie stayed at the Hotel Bristol, chatting to various kindred. They got an invitation to meet with the Ventrue primogen the following night. Bea spent some time with her sire, feeling much better in her company. Janina chatted to Zygmunt, who gave her a medical book, which was in the sphere of her interest, and his essay on humanity, which she read and shared with Mara. The essay that also included comments from Zygmunt's child, that spoke to Janina even more than the essay itself. And Mara, having learned previously that her sire had been found, pondered the issue and went to talk to Dominic, who was sired by the same kindred, about what they've been through and about how they both had their lives disrupted and taken away from them by the same man, and they connected over that, and reassured each other that they were happy to know each other and were willing to support each other. And you all went to sleep. And the next night, on the autumn evening, when a slight drizzle still fills the air and the sky is mostly clouded, Janina, you are the first one to wake up, as always. You are lying next to Mara on the bed. There is Zygmunt's essay, which you put somewhere on a small nightstand next to you. Mara is still sleeping, with her hair wrapped around her horns and her face.
I will reach for the essay and will glance through it, trying to reread the paragraphs that were very interesting to me.
So you find the same information about physiological changes in vampires as they lose humanity, about that it can be reversed, about Clan Bruja and it being more prone to frenzy and doing things that might cause them to lose humanity.
All right, I'm gonna continue reading, and when I end with this, I'm gonna check the medical book and wait for Mara.
So you reread a bit of the essay, reminding yourself all the things you learned last night. And then you open the medical book, which is a collection of various studies that were written in the interwar period and were to do with the impact of war on organism and development of medicine during the war. So you glance through the contents and you see that there are some papers about development of orthopedic surgery and about research into prosthetics. You find some information about impact of malnutrition, some about blood transfusions, some about the use of X-ray to remove bullets, some about shell shock. And soon, Mara opens her eyes. Mara, you wake up on a bed in your hotel room. You see Janina sitting on the edge of the bed with a book.
Still studying, I see.
Oh yeah, right now I'm checking the medical book that Zygmunt gave me, and there are also a lot of interesting things, but I doubt it would interest you, but you know. Did you sleep well?
You never know. You bear with all my arts and dance and so on, so I could very well try to learn something about medicine.
Of course, if you will be interested.
I could be.
When you're free, we can check the hospital again.
I could be like a super acute nurse the next time.
Yeah, you totally could.
We could be like twin nurses. I bet the men will love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to get ready, and how much time do we have before we have to meet Bea?
Well, I don't think you're quite sure. Like, you're meeting the primogen at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
But you still have a few hours before that. Bea, wakes up later. I don't think you've been around in the same room or paying attention to know exactly what time.
Yeah.
But you have a bit of time.
Okay. Should we go check on Bea? After we read that, about the humanity, maybe we can check on her if she's up, and if not, when she's gonna be up. So, we had some math to do.
Sneaky. I like it. Okay.
And
we have actually a lot of things to do, but we have to wait for Bea anyway, so let's investigate.
Okay, so I wait for Mara to get ready if she wants to pamper herself a bit, and then we will go for Bea's and Felicia's room.
All right, so you get to the door of Bea's and Felicia's room. What do you want to do?
We will knock.
You're knocking. There's no response.
Okay. Check.
I will try to listen. Yeah. listen. There's movement, or if they are still sleeping.
There is a movement. There is a little bit of scream from time to time that comes from Bea, who sometimes screams in her sleep.
Okay. I'm really tempted to break the door, but I don't want to because it's Elysium.
Well, do you? Is the real question.
Hmm. All right, so I look at Mara. It seems Bea's having another nightmare or something because I can hear her scream from time to
Yes.
time, but they doesn't seem to be up. I'm sure Felicia isn't because she always woke up later. But so
Yes.
I don't think we should be trying to force ourselves into the door.
No, I don't think it's a good idea.
So what do you want to do before?
You want okay. You want to check when exactly she will be up?
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah.
we will look extremely stupid standing around. I mean, not
Yeah.
me. I'm invisible. You will look especially stupid because you are standing in front of a door talking to.
I know.
Talking to yourself.
I know. Let's just go down the hall for a bit and check back in 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about all this thing. But okay. But I'm with you. If we do something stupid, we have to do it together. I cannot let you do something idiotic by yourself. We have to do that together.
It's not idiotic. We just care, and without like doing something very stupid like breaking out the door, we don't have any other choice. So we just go down the hall for a bit and check back in 5 minutes and see if she's up or not.
Okay. But we have while I suppose we
I
go
think
away. I'm invisible because I have to conserve the blood for. I cannot go to the primogen starving. It will not be.
Yeah, you can be invisible, no problem. But
So
if, like, if someone was to notice that Janina is obviously talking to somebody, that will break your obfuscate because that will draw attention to you.
Okay. So
I think I only tried to talk to her when we were alone in the hall, like in front of the.
Yeah, no, that's fair. There aren't many people. It's not crowded at this point, the corridor here. So you're, as I understand it, walking up and down the corridor, and every 5 minutes or so checking on Bea.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Mara is
like I'm pretending maybe I'm
holding
like a paper that I'm reading and waiting. I don't probably wear a watch, which is, but I maybe pretend that I look at the watch even if I don't have it, like because I have a long sleeve. So I just like that. It seems that I'm waiting for someone.
Yeah. So you get a curious glance from some worker at the hotel walking past at some point, especially when he like comes back from some room and still sees you around. But he doesn't do anything. He just like looks to you like, okay, but clearly doesn't care enough to ask questions or disturb. And it takes you a bit of time. You come back a few times, and Bea is still sleeping. Meanwhile, Bea, you're walking through a ruined, burning city. You hear the roar of the planes somewhere above you, as the air fills with smoke, dust, and screams. You don't need to breathe, but you're still choking on it, and the noise around you hurts your ears. You see many people running by you, and their faces are blending into one another until none of the features are distinct. Nothing sparks any memory. You can't tell the difference between one person and another, and the painful roaring in your ears increases. You remember you must find someone, but you can't recall their face. You can't recall any face. And then you trip over some rubble and you fall, hurting your hands and knees. As you fall, you catch your reflection in a shard of a shattered glass, but you don't recognize your face. You can't distinguish yourself from all the faces around you. It all looks the same. Your head is hurting from the noise and from the smoke, and nothing sparks any memory. You look around frantically, but nothing looks familiar. Not even your face is familiar. You don't remember anything. You wake up. Felicia is lying next to you, still asleep.
I go through to the bathroom, just splash my face with cold water.
Do you still remember your nightmare? Or bits of it, the last bit of it?
I just sink down onto the bathroom floor for a bit and just sit there in my nightgown.
What are you thinking about?
Who I'm looking for. How it feels vaguely familiar. All my thoughts are starting to run together until they're a blur like the faces were. I start to feel almost like I can't breathe as I was in the dream, even though I don't need to. So go and quickly grab some clothes and go to leave, see if I can get outside for some fresh air.
Alright, so you start getting dressed to leave. Meanwhile, Janina and Mara, after attempting it several times, you come up to Felicia's and Bea's room, and you hear someone moving inside.
Okay, so we knock.
Yeah, as you're dressing, there's a knock on the door.
Who is it?
It's us, Janina and Mara. I whisper Mara, so in case anyone was there.
Right.
I look around like.
There's no one there, it's fine.
Okay.
There's a slightly awkwardly long pause, and then the door unlocks. I'm clearly halfway through getting dressed, or more or less finished getting dressed, but my hair is not brushed. I'm not wearing makeup yet.
How does she look?
Kinda corpse-like. The red hair is this almost nightmarish contrast to the very pale skin and the grey lips.
Are you alright?
I'll be alright. Just didn't sleep well.
Oh, yeah, we were here earlier. We tried to knock, and the only thing we could hear was you, but you screaming, but we couldn't do anything because we didn't want to force it. So if you need more time to adjust and
it's still
calm
that
yourself.
darkness stuff, the omen.
No, it's the usual.
we can come back if you want to like
If you need alone time.
I think I need to go for a walk. I'll be back shortly.
All right.
No problem.
Can we wait here or should we go to our room?
Maybe wait here. Mother might worry if I'm not here when she wakes up.
All right.
Yes.
We will tell her.
I go to leave.
And leaves us alone.
So you step out of the door and go towards the exit from Hotel Bristol. By the way, I forgot, but you can regain all 1 point of willpower, and you can subtract the blood for
I don't
waking
like
up. Well, that's not optional. I'm afraid.
Well, Janina will needs to feed.
Sorry,
Before we
forgot about
go.
that earlier.
Yeah.
But Bea,
She has 4.
you are
Bea,
you are heading out.
Probably Mara will say briefly to Janina, I'm going to like keep an eye on her, okay?
All right.
She doesn't seem so good.
Yeah.
Don't kill mother before we come back, please.
Don't worry.
And I follow obfuscated. Mara follows like in a distance. Bea just to check on her. She's not like right behind her. She's just keeping her in her general sight. So if something happens, she can do something. She's not like super creepily stalking.
Bea, you go outside. What do you do? Do you just walk?
I just start walking.
Do you look around? Do you?
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on the skies. Probably not paying as much attention to the street as I should be, but.
Yeah. I knew that.
Well, I think still roll me perception and awareness with difficulty. I think 7. And Mara, roll wit and stealth with the same difficulty.
Sweet.
God. 7 successes.
Yes, you see me.
Yes. So you're not paying much attention, but something catches your eye, and
you see,
trying to be sneaky behind a bit of this ruined wall, you see horns and a bit of like head and the hand of Mara sticking out for you.
It's just a moment where I pause and then just laugh behind my hand quietly because it's just kind of funny. But then I turn and pretend that I didn't see her. But I'm smiling slightly as I'm walking now.
So you're walking. There is still a bit of drizzle. The air is very damp. The sky is clouded. It's quite dark. There are a few lights here, but not that many. The lighting in the city is good in general after the war. But you are walking. What are you thinking about as you're walking?
I'm taking in deep breaths that I don't need to take, and I don't normally feel the need to. Just so I can feel the air in my lungs, so that I can feel that the air isn't full of ash and smoke. I'm listening to the sounds of the night to make sure that I'm not hearing the planes.
So the air is quite refreshing, and it's fairly quiet. You hear some laughing and some shouting, people calling to each other somewhere in the distance. You hear some like horse hoofs from somewhere in the distance as well.
If I find a bench or anything at some point, I'll go and sit on that and sit for a little while.
There is a makeshift bench. It's basically a plank of wood put over some bits of rubble. It's not quite even. It's clearly something people who work in this area made for themselves. But you can sit there.
Okay. I take off my locket and sit and stare at it for a little while. And casually keep an eye out to see if Mara's still nearby.
Mara, what are you thinking about as you follow Bea?
She's. I'm worried, but and I understand what Janina is trying to do, and she agrees, but she does not know exactly how to solve this whole humanity problem, if there is one. And she's thinking what they can do, and for now she just checking that she's more or less right. She's not. She's still in the area. She's not right
Yeah.
near you. She's just probably like in somewhere away in the background. She can see you, but it's not like probably she can't see like you're watching the pendant or something like that. She just
Yeah. You see Bea sit down somewhere after a while. Do you do anything, or do you just wait?
me, Mara.
Yeah, Mara.
She just patiently waits. She sit down probably at some point.
So you sit.
If she doesn't seem no immediate threat like a car eating.
No.
So she just sits and wait at a distance, not like a creepy stalker, not too much.
So you sit on some rubble and wait until Bea moves again. Janina, you stayed with Felicia in her room. What are you doing?
I'm going to look at Felicia. Like, I'm gonna stand over her and check her face, like not like touching her, or just from standing over her and like trying to look at her. How much of a corpse she is?
She's pretty corpse-like. She looks much like Bea looked, very pale. She's also very pale. This kind of greyish lips. She looks dead.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit disturbed
dried out.
by
wrinkles
the look of her.
There.
Because I probably saw a lot of dead people in the hospital, and she looks like a corpse, and it's weird and disturbing for me to but at the same time, I'm just waiting for her to wake up, because even though I would love to maybe check the stuff, I don't want her to catch me red-handed, so I'm just gonna wait. And if she's not getting awake, like in 5 minutes, then I will probably sit where I can. If there is like a chair, then I will sit in a chair. And we'll just look at her and wait.
So
thinking how much down of the humanity path she has to be to look like this.
So, you sit in a chair, and not that long after that, she opens her eyes and stares.
Oh, good morning.
As she does, some of the color returns to her face, but she still looks pretty corpse-like. You say good morning. She looks to you. Janina.
Oh,
don't worry. Where is Bea?
Don't worry. She just went outside for a bit. She's not. I think she had another nightmare, so she went out
I should be with her. I should find her.
Oh, that's okay. Mars with her, and she's taking care of her, so she didn't do anything. She should be back in a couple of minutes, so don't worry.
Right, I should trust Mara to do this. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I really should be with her. I'm sorry, my dear. I'm being awfully rude. I just worry about Bea so much.
That's all right. That's understandable. We all worry about her.
You notice her like moving her hand to her head a bit, and as if she was in some kind of pain.
Are you feeling all right?
Yes, just well, a few things around. Nothing for you to worry about. Just something I have to deal with.
Are you hurt?
No, I had a chance to recover by now. It's something quite different, some uncomfortable. It was difficult to explain. I
understand.
My clan, we have, well, our peculiarities, I suppose.
Oh yes, I noticed.
How are you doing? How are you settling in?
Oh, I'm doing well, I think. I think this is a very interesting place to be, and a lot of new faces, I suppose, to meet. I'm sure Bea told you that we are supposed to meet with Ventrue primogen tonight.
Yes, she has. Well, I'm very curious what he will want, but should be a great opportunity for you.
And do you know him personally?
Well, that would be an exaggeration. I know of him. We exchanged pleasantries a few times. I haven't interacted with him more than that, no.
I see.
But it's wonderful that he took interest in the three of you.
Yeah. I don't know what he's gonna talk about. I think it has something to do with Bea's coterie before.
Yes, that's a very unfortunate story. I shouldn't talk about this unless, I don't know if Bea would want me to.
I understand. Can I ask you something? How did you meet?
Of course, my dear.
How did you meet Bea?
Oh, that's... don't know how much I should tell you.
Oh,
She was very lost and distressed. I wanted to take care of her. It was during the war. I don't want to... past is a painful subject to her.
I know. I learned it recently, and I don't want to cause her any more pain. But at the same time, I would like to know more about her. And I think you're the only person that we can ask about it.
Well, why do you want to ask about it? Bea is good as she is.
Well, of course she is. I just want to know, how did you found her? Did you just stumble upon her and took interest in her, or did you meet her before?
Yes, pretty much, yes. She was so lost. So distressed, poor thing. I didn't know what else to do. I needed to take care of her.
Did you know that if she had a family or not?
I don't know.
Can I try to find out if she's like...
Absolutely. Roll perception and empathy. Difficulty 6.
Okay.
What I roll for her?
Four successes and one 10 and other 3 successes. Yeah.
Okay. So she is not telling you something. She is definitely hiding things from you and not quite telling the truth.
All right. I know you want to protect her, Mother. I know you want the best for her. But
I do. That's all I want.
But we are all her family, and we love her as much as you do. And if there's anything you could tell us about her, that would be for us. We love her as she is. I just want to imagine her life before, so I could, I don't know. It's hard to explain for me, but for my own life, I just always like to see the people as whole, I want to...
It's whole.
I know that she is. Everyone is whole, but I don't know the whole her. It's hard.
You know her so well. You girls spend so much time together. You know what she's like.
Yes, she's a wonderful person. And we love her. I don't know, but lately she just feels distressed. I don't know, maybe it's the omens that she's having, or I don't know. I just wish I could help her more.
Roll persuasion and charisma with difficulty 8.
Okay. Oh, well, it didn't go well. 2 ones.
And 2 ones.
Perfect.
Felicia looks to you.
Just explained.
Kind of angry now. You see anger in her face. Briefly. And for a moment, she looks like she's about to lose control. But then she hides it. She smiles again. Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. Forgive me. It's those headaches. I'm not in the best of moods. I understand what you're saying. You worry about Bea. And I know you want the best for her. But you must understand what you're doing is not very polite. Asking behind her back about the things she can't remember herself. If she finds out, she could be very hurt.
I know. I hope you want to.
I would really appreciate if you stopped that and didn't attempt asking anyone else.
Of course. I don't think
Not unless Bea gives you consent to do this. We should accept her as she is. It's a painful enough subject for her.
I know.
I also want to protect her, especially when she's so stressed with the omens and all the changes that happens to our lives.
I know. Please don't tell her that I asked. I won't ask her, and there isn't anyone else I could ask, so we can consider this subject done.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. I understand.
I'm glad.
That's my own problem, that I try to pry.
I'm sure
That's not-
Bea would appreciate that you're interested in her and want to protect her. But I think, maybe try to help her on her own terms.
Yes, I wish I knew the terms that I wish do you think there is anything we could do for her to help her feel better besides not asking about this?
Well, the curse of our clan is what it is. You can't quite help it altogether. But if you accept her as she is, and are there for her, when she needs you, when she needs support, when she needs someone to help her, just be there.
All right, that I definitely can do. I love her as my sister, and I want her to be as happy, as content as she can be, or as any of us can be in this world.
I'm so glad to hear that. I was really happy to see you get so close.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, some time passes. You're sitting on this makeshift bench. Mara is a fair distance away, but still out there waiting.
Yeah. I look to the locket and go to run my fingers over it, but then think better of it and put it back on. And I stand up and make to start wandering back in the direction of Mara. And I'll make eye contact with her and smile.
So Mara, you see Bea walking towards you, looking straight at you and smiling.
I feel a bit like I'm not so cool at hiding, so I feel a bit bad at that. But she smiles obviously, and she keep walking beside her if she thinks that she's okay with. If she seems like she wants to keep being alone, I'll keep a distance. But if she seems to want to walk side by side, she will do that. But she will keep silent if Bea will not engage her.
After a little bit of time, there's a slight pause. And then, you wouldn't happen to remember the way back, would you?
I certainly do.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Just, is that what I'm here for? Giving street directions.
I don't know. What are you here for?
To give street directions.
Good.
and I keep walking back.
There's
Hopefully
definitely
not getting lost, because it will be very, very awkward. But I think I think I can find my way back
Yes, I mean, you know your way back.
There's definitely the smile that is on Bea's face is slightly too rigid. It's not quite right. It seems like it's sort of masking the unsettled state she was in.
After a while, Mara, she will very quietly at your side, and probably waiting a moment. There are no people around, so it doesn't seem like you are talking to yourself. Maybe like something different, something you want to talk about.
I don't.
If you want, you're not.
I think it's just my usual bad dreams. I needed to be outside to know that it wasn't still raining bombs. Know that the sky wasn't still full of smoke.
The war. I don't know. It's the first time since I know you, so that it has been that bad. So I don't know.
Fair enough. They're not uncommon, I don't think. It's a little hard for me to judge, but they're not. Well, I'm used to them. They're familiar now. I should get back. Mother will be worried.
Yes, she will be freaking out. And can I ask you an odd question?
You're always welcome to ask.
Okay. You didn't check your diary tonight, I think.
No. Why?
No, don't worry. I was just thinking. But you remember me anyway.
Yes. You're Mara.
Good. Great. Thank you. Mara seems slightly happier than before.
And you get back to Hotel Bristol. Are you headed back to Felicia's room?
Yes. I need to get properly dressed instead of whatever I threw on. And I probably need to look at my notebook. And there's so many things to do.
Spoiler before you go through your notes. Just a spoiler.
So, Janina,
we're going to meet the Ventrue primogen tonight.
Oh,
you have time. Don't worry, you have time.
Oh, good.
Just want to invite on spoiler.
Okay, good. Right, I walk slightly faster.
Right. So Janina, as you're there, Felicia starts getting ready for the day. She goes to the bathroom, washes her face, starts putting on makeup. Do you stay?
Yes, I will stay.
Yeah.
I maybe ask if she wants me to brush her hair or anything like.
She seems a bit taken aback at first, but then smiles and lets you brush her hair. And as you're finishing, Mara and there you return.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, my dear. Oh, come here. I was so worried about you. And Felicia gives you a hug.
I hug her back. I'm sorry to have worried you, Mother. I just needed some fresh air.
Oh, no problem at all. Janina explained everything to me. I know I worry too much. It's just It's just such a difficult time.
Sorry. Can I help at all?
Oh, no, not with this, I'm afraid.
Okay.
How are you? Do you need anything?
No, I'm a bit better now, thank you. The walk and the company did me good.
No, I'm really glad. And she smiles at you, Mara.
Mara smiles back. Do you want a cup of tea? Like the good old times.
Oh, well, I sometimes get one down from the cafe.
You want that bring no, she winces slightly. No, I can't do that.
Oh, don't worry, I'm all right anyway. You have a big day ahead of you. I wouldn't want to get in the way of that. And she takes your journal there and just gives it to you.
Thank you, Mother. And I go through it and read over the events of yesterday.
Yeah. So you remember Leonard, you remember Mara's responsibility that she took on herself, and that you are indeed to meet Ventrue primogen at 10.
Right. I will then...
You still have a few hours.
Then go and start rummaging through clothes and trying to find something slightly smarter than I would normally wear.
So yeah, you get dressed.
I look at Janina. She seems okay.
I smiled, Mara. Like earlier.
Janina, how are you feeling?
I think Janina's feeling. I feel a bit torn because at the same time I have this off feeling about Felicia that she's like there's something wrong with her, but at the same time she really seems to care about Bea, and everything that she said kind of makes sense, and it makes me feel maybe a bit jealous that there's someone who cares about Bea the way that Felicia does, and that Mara has her new brother, and I have basically no one beside Mara and Bea. And maybe I feel a bit jealous, but at the same time, like, I'm torn because I want to, I don't know, I just feel very conflicted right now about Felicia and her relationship with Bea. It feels slightly wrong, but at the same time, it feels good that someone cares about her this much.
Do you try to hide these feelings?
I think I'm trying to not seem disturbed. I smile at Mara, but it's not like I'm overly hiding it. It's more like I'm trying to seem that I'm okay and I'm relaxed.
You're trying to seem that you're okay and relaxed. So, just let's do self-control and subterfuge to see if you can just control your expression. Difficulty 6, and Mara roll perception and empathy with the same difficulty.
What was it? Self-control and what?
Subterfuge.
Okay. What was the difficulty?
6.
I have 4 successes.
2 successes.
So Janina seems relaxed. She's smiling. She seems fine. And Bea, you are ready. After a moment, Felicia is just waiting for you. She helps you brush your hair.
Thank you, Mother. Once I'm ready, I will then go back through my notebook and start getting everything that I can about Arik and all of the things that I had noted about him leading up to his betrayal.
Yeah. So you have some information. You weren't keeping your journal from the start, but you had it already when you were with your former coterie. You have notes about Arik. that from what you knew, he was some kind of young worker from a rather poor district in life. He wasn't very, like, he was hanging out with you, and he seemed to find some comfort in your company, but you have noticed that he always hated what happened to him and his embrace, and there was some kind of bitterness in him. He talked about his former mortal life with bitterness, and he talked with bitterness about this life of hiding in the city from mortals and from Sabbat, and he seemed very scared of this and very preoccupied with it. There was a lot of emotions in him always. He could be very loyal and protect you, but he was kind of volatile. You never could quite get a grasp on him. He seemed to be going through a lot and changing. And then he betrayed you. And before that, you get a note that he seemed a bit better to you. He seemed calmer.
Was I getting bad feelings about him by that point, or was I comfortable around him?
You were getting some bad feelings.
Okay.
There was a warning that something is wrong, but you weren't as skilled at interpreting all your omens then, so you couldn't quite identify whether the warning was about him or whether something was going to happen to him.
Okay. I sort of note that down around the same area that I'm currently working in, just to keep it together. And try and keep my hands steady while I'm writing, because my hand is still slightly shaking.
All right. Mara, Janina, do you do anything? Bea is going for her notebook, getting ready.
I may be putting some makeup on Mara, making her, or I think we like pretty each other up.
All right.
Mara seems happy to. She basically let Janina put on her face whatever. She doesn't object to anything, and she seems a bit not exactly sad, but like a bit like you know it's useless, but she let her do anyway. But you can put a lot of her skin is basically white, so every color you can. It's like a canvas. You can do whatever. So in a way,
I don't know
fun.
how much of the beauty products we have. So I think we are using some of Bella's stuff.
Probably, yes.
Because Janina doesn't use makeup, so.
Mara,
yes, you dig into Bea's and Felicia's stuff.
Just picturing a toddler with a stick of lipstick.
I don't know if I would like to put Felicia's lipstick on my lips. I don't know, especially not after what I saw earlier.
Why? Everything's fine.
Yeah, but she's kind of deader than us.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wish to do before you head out for your meeting with the primogen?
I would like to feed.
Yeah.
All right.
Me too.
Okay. So I assume you're heading out a bit earlier after putting on makeup, going through your notebook there. Felicia tells you to Like, good luck, goodbye. I'm sure you will all do great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you head out. As you are walking down the stairs, you see, well, actually, you hear footsteps accelerating a bit behind you. And as you turn back, you see the figure of an older man in a pullover with a crucifix on his chest, just hanging around his neck, that you recognize as Clemens, the Nosferatu you've met when you were first introduced to Camarilla. And he comes up to you. Mara,
Good evening.
good evening to all of you.
What happened?
Well, nothing happened. I just, well, I was here and I saw you walking past, and I thought I should tell you that the wolf is bringing your sire here tonight.
Here. Why?
Well, so that he can explain himself. I don't know what will be done to him. He will speak to the prince.
In front of the prince.
Obviously.
I will hold Mara's hand.
I just thought you should know.
Thank you, Clemens. Thank you. What you have you know about when more or less
I think they're on their way here right now.
Okay. What time it is now?
It's after 8.
Janina feel her grasp. Well, for Mara, standard her grasping very very firm around your hand, but without looking at you, she just you. Excuse me, girls. You go. I suppose you'll go hunting without me.
Are you sure?
You go and do what you have to do. Okay. Our meeting later is important. More important than that person. But I have to see it through.
I lean forward and take Mara's hand. Well, other hand. Give it a squeeze.
She squeezed back and she keep grasping hard Janina's hand. She will not be. She will probably hurt you if you were stronger, but she's not. She's not hurting you, not for lack of of effort in it, but because she's not strong. But after a moment, when she seems to realize she is gripping too tightly, and suddenly, oh, okay.
We're with you in spirit.
Yes, and
Thank you.
if you will need to, I'm gonna kick his ass. And I'm lean for a hug and give her a tight hug.
She hug you back, but she's very tense. But she hugs you back. She's like in autopilot. She's hugging you back, but like she's her mind is somewhere else completely right now.
Yeah, I'm just whispering. Don't do anything stupid when I let her go.
She whispers back.
At least wait for me.
I don't think I can make you that promise.
All right.
And she doesn't smile. But then her smile is back again when she pulled back from you.
I'm very worried, but I don't want to impose myself on her, so I don't tell her that I would like to go with her, because I know that probably she wants to do it alone, and I don't want to. So I'm just nervous inside, and maybe glance at Belle with like a bit worried look.
She looks at you, but she's smiling, but it's difficult to understand what she's feeling right now. But she looks at you, especially to Janina, for a long. She pauses to look for a bit longer on Janina, and then, you have a meeting to prepare for.
Yes.
You will find me here, or so I hope.
Could I activate aura perception?
Absolutely. Perception and empathy, difficulty 8.
And I need to remember to remove a dice, because I'm pretty sure I forgot to do that
Yes.
last time. Whoops.
Well, I would recommend you to be here when I get back.
But.
Else I'm gonna turn the place down. And I try to smile at her.
So, you want to read Mara, right? You look to Mara, trying to reach into her emotions. And you hear the sound of bombs again. And then you get a very bad sense from her. Like something bad is going to happen, or like there is something bad approaching her.
I suddenly lean forward and grasp her forearm, and my eyes are incredibly wide. Be careful.
I'll do my best.
Something bad is coming.
He had killed me the last time I saw him, so yes, I can believe you on that.
Just remember that you are better than him.
Ah, yes, I know, but well, you go, Janina. Janina, Bea, look for each other, okay?
We will.
And come back. I can do that.
Think about us.
I'll do.
Right.
If there's something that can make me pause from doing stupid things, is thinking about you. Bea, are you okay?
Yes, Belle. Do you need to go out?
The bombs are falling again.
It's all right.
No, it's not all right. Something bad is coming, and the bombs are falling.
Okay.
Mara's gonna be okay. Look
The
at
sound of bombs stops after a while. But the feeling that something bad around Mara is still, the memory of it is still there.
Janina is torn between looking out for Janina and for Belle. She doesn't know what to do.
Mara, okay. Then Janina, take care of Belle, okay?
I will. And I will hold Belle's hand.
Okay, I can do that.
Everyone hold hands.
Kumbaya.
Yeah.
I look at Clemens and thank you again for warning me. I'll go now. It will be an interesting Elysia.
Yes, I don't believe it will be quite a court gathering. There's no need to art. He's been known to the community. I have to talk to let you in on Abelard's hearing, if you would like to be there.
Yes, I would.
All right then. Well, I'll let you know when they're here.
Thank you. You have warned Dominic too.
No, I haven't. I don't think he would be interested.
Okay. Right. Okay, right.
But if you think this is appropriate, I can ask for both of you to be let in.
She pauses a long moment and then she shakes her head. No, don't worry.
He nods, and where will I find you?
Well, in our main Elysium, probably, where everyone is happily chatting their lives away. I wait there.
I look for you there.
Thank you. She will go to the Elysium. You can. She's visible. She's in the place.
I assume you stood in a sort of place where you could talk without drawing attention to you. So you can like hide again, and you can sneak your way through the corridors to the Elysium.
She hides. She conceals herself immediately. You catch a glimpse that she's like trembling, shaking a bit, but she disappears immediately as she goes straight.
I will look until she disappears and then turn to Bea and hug her.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
You mean we should find a way to stay here and watch over her?
I don't know. We have to go to this meeting. We can't not go.
Yes, I know, but we still have time. We
could maybe ask. Is there anyone that we could maybe ask Mother to keep an eye on her?
Yes, I think that would be wise.
We'll head back to the room.
Okay.
I'm still holding Bea's hand if she lets me.
Yeah.
Felicia is there. She's reading.
Mother, sorry to bother you. Would it be possible for you to keep an eye on Mara for me? I've got a very bad feeling. She's going to be staying here. Her sire's being brought before the prince soon. But I feel like something bad is going to happen.
Yes, I worry about her too.
But you have a meeting with the primogen. You've all been invited, isn't that right?
But we still have time. Maybe we can make all of it. Like maybe it's done before.
I don't imagine that'll be possible. But Janina and I will go.
Yes, maybe we can pretend that Mara's there.
No, there's no point lying to him. But we'll just have to make an excuse. Well, to be honest, the truth will probably.
I try to talk to her. It's most irresponsible, I understand. This is to do with her sire, but well, I wouldn't want him to take offense.
Do you think he's that kind of man that he would take offense?
I'm not sure. He's very set in his ways, but what exactly his ways are, I couldn't always discern.
Carolina approached me specifically to discuss it and said, according to my notes, I think it said that Janina and Mara were welcome, but I don't know whether they're required. I don't know. It's a little.
Of course, I'll keep an eye on her in any case.
Okay, thank you.
But you two should absolutely go and explain the situation.
Yes, of course.
We will. We also have to feed on our way there.
Well, then you should hurry. You don't have that much time left.
No.
Yes. Thank you for keeping an eye on Mara.
No problem at all.
She'll be in the usual Elysium space.
The lounge. Yeah.
I'll go look for her.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I guess we leave.
So you leave, and you want to hunt on the way.
For some fast food.
Yes. So you're looking for some people, just as usual, I assume,
Yes.
out of the way.
Yes.
And you see, at some point, near the place where you can see the workers started to remove some of the rubble, bring down some of the remaining walls so that it can all be cleared away. There are some scaffoldings there. It's clearly the place is being worked on. Near there, in a smaller street, you see two women. One a bit older, slightly hunched, another younger, looking to be maybe around 20, and they are packing up a soup stand. You see the sign, it says just fresh hot soup, and they are packing up some of the bowls into like big bags, and they have some big pots they try to like grab the hold of so that they can carry it all back.
Does that work for you?
Well, it will have to tonight because we don't have much time, and I think that you especially needs to feed to feel better.
Yes.
So, how do you want to do it?
I could maybe drop something.
Right.
And then cause a distraction. See if they'll help me pick things up.
All right.
Okay. So I'll take my purse out of my bag and just be sort of rummaging through it. And then I'd like to sort of stumble and drop it and have the coins go everywhere.
All right. So yes, you do that. The women look to you.
And I'll start sort of trying to get all
and
the
the
coins
younger
back.
one who's been sort of he was carrying this pot and trying to get like some of the other bags in her hand. She kind of starts to trying to put that away. Like, oh right, can I help you? Are you all right?
Oh, would you mind? I've probably dropped coins everywhere. Sorry about this.
I think that I'm also trying like to help bear like the coins, but I do it very like slowly and just
Yeah.
So the younger woman is moving into help.
Right.
The older one is kind of holding something.
So she's not.
Okay, so
Right.
I'm gonna go and leave the coins for Bear, and I'm gonna go and try to help the older lady.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so older lady, she is like struggling to balance all of the stuff in her arms.
Can I take it for you? Do you need help?
Oh yes, dear, yes. And you start helping her, and I assume you want to use a moment
Yes,
to
I'm gonna
bite
use
into her neck.
yes.
So just roll manipulation and subterfuge with difficulty 6 to see if you can be convincing.
Okay.
And you bear as well.
Well, I have no success and 2 ones. It's not gonna be a good day.
Oh god.
Janina is too
Okay,
stressed.
well, this is going places.
Off to a good start.
Oh my god.
It's not my fault. It's yours because you both stress me.
Oh.
I don't even need to roll for this one.
The hunting course continue.
So I got 2 minus 1, so 1 success.
Hmm?
1 success. Not doing very well.
1 success.
Oh my god.
Oh god. So what happens is, yeah, you manage. You see a moment where she's like picking up some of your coins and she's there chatting about how it's difficult to walk the street. You need to be careful because of all the rabble. And you see a moment where you can bite into her. And you do. And you start drinking. And how much blood do you have right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
All right, okay. And the taste of it is delicious in your mouth. Janina, you also see a moment when she is kind of lost her balance for like a second and is kind of wobbling, and you think this is a great opportunity to go for it, and you start leaning in to bite into her, and as your fangs extend, she catches her balance again and looks straight at you. And you see fear and confusion and surprise in her eyes.
I will try to close my mouth so she didn't see the fangs and try to retract them and just I'm sorry, I just thought that you were falling. And I hit my fangs.
How much do you take?
2.
2. Okay. So you finish drinking. You remove your fangs from her neck. She is kind of dazed, not quite conscious, lying on the ground. And you, at this point, you hear Janina saying like sorry and moving very strangely. The woman is like, what?
Could I come up and
Yes, absolutely.
look the woman in the eye and just try and calm her fear, or all her emotions, to be honest.
That's gonna be
less of that.
Charisma and empathy. Difficulty will be 8.
Okay. I don't have a lot of willpower, but I kind of want this to work. Do I spend? You know what? I don't want this situation to get worse, so I'm going to spend.
Go for it.
That's better. Does smooth talker come into this?
I don't think so, because you're not really talking. You're just using.
Well, I'll have to be using words anyway.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. No. I think
all right.
it just
Okay.
happens.
If I don't. Okay. In which case, that is 4 minus 1 is 3.
3. Well, that's absolutely enough.
Plus 1 for willpower.
Yeah.
So 4.
She was looking to Janina, and she just kind of calms down.
That's okay.
Fear disappearing from her.
You're all
thought you. I swear I thought she was going to bite me, but she seems very indifferent at this point.
No, that would be silly.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to help. Maybe I fell a bit and touched you in a way that I shouldn't.
Maybe. Why would you be doing? What happened to my daughter?
I don't know. She seems a little dazed. Perhaps it's been a long day. You should check on her.
Yes, I should. And she seems quite like fearless at this moment, pretty indifferent. And starts moving to check.
Yeah, as soon as she moves, I'm trying to grab her from the behind and bite her.
You can easily grab her. You're much stronger. And you bite into her neck.
Meanwhile, I'll go back and deal with the daughter and just kneel down in front of her and put a hand on her shoulder and just go, is everything all right? Are you okay?
Yes, I don't know. I must have collapsed. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's not a problem. I just want
to
keep
kind
her.
of not quite there.
I'm just trying to keep her focused purely on me and not on Janina.
Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, Janina, how much blood do you have?
Just 2. I have 4. I have 4.
You have 4. Then please roll me your self-control.
Oh my God,
Difficulty will be 6. How much self-control do you have?
I have 4.
4. Okay. So you can spend willpower if you want. Like just a reminder.
Yeah, I always remember it later, but no success. No success. This night
success.
is going to be great. Yeah, I had 1 success, but also 1. So. No.
Okay, right, and you didn't spend willpower. No. Okay, I reminded you too late. Yeah. Sorry.
I don't want to cheat.
So yeah. Roll your manipulation and subterfuge.
Okay.
You will never
difficulty 5 because she's still pretty confused.
Okay.
And you have friendly face.
Yes. 3 successes.
3 successes. So you keep her attention on you. Do you pay attention to anything else happening around?
I mean,
you?
I'm trying to keep an eye out to make sure that things.
So you notice that Janina doesn't really stop drinking.
Okay.
Here we go again.
All right. Okay. Oh dear. I would like to get up, pick a piece of rubble off the ground, and see if I can lob it at Janina and hit her.
Okay, well, lobbing rock will be dexterity and athletics. Yeah. Difficulty 6.
Okay. I basically just want to surprise her without being close enough that she's going to hit me.
Okay.
That is 2 successes.
2 successes. So Janina, you are drinking completely lost in the delicious, comforting taste of Vita. And you feel something hit you, like on your side, and the sudden stinging pain. In the botch, you can roll self-control again.
Okay.
I believe in you. You can do it.
You can spend willpower again.
Spend willpower. All right. Okay. And what was? Well, now I have 4 successes plus willpower.
So you regain consciousness. You realize you got lost in.
All right, I'm gonna quickly lick the wound and see how much did I take. So if the needs to be sit down or if she's like collapsing.
Right. You can take. Let's see. You can take 5 life points.
Oh, nice.
I assume drinking happens pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Roll intelligence and medicine.
Okay.
Oh my god. Pablo again.
We doesn't even know the name of this one.
Difficulty is, I think, 6 for this roll.
Okay, I have 1 success.
1 success. So she has lost quite a lot of blood. Like she would need, ideally, medical attention.
All right. Do I know what kind of medical attention does she need? Like
Well,
transfusion?
Transfusion would be ideal.
Right. All right. So, okay. What would happen if I gave her a bit of my blood? Like, I don't want to ghoul her. I just want to.
Well,
like-
from what you know, the way I always play it is that for the ghoul to be properly bound to you, you have to give them blood 3 times anyway. So she would be a ghoul. She would have this taste of blood, but after 1, she might still, if she like never saw you again and never found you again.
But do I know
she
that
might
if I
feel a bit of need for vampiric vita, but it will pass still. And it would heal her, yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna quickly cut my wrist and give her a bit of blood because
So
I don't know how.
1 blood point.
Well, it was her, so.
And in all of this mess, I forgot to give you higher difficulty for self-control this time. But I will remember next time.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my bad. But it still went pretty badly.
It still went pretty badly.
So you give her some blood, and it just drips into her mouth, but then she starts swallowing it instinctively.
Okay.
And you think, after a moment, her heart rate stabilizes a bit.
All right, I'm gonna sit her. I'm gonna lick my
She's
wrist,
unconscious at the moment.
and I'm gonna sit her somewhere next to the stand or something. And
Okay.
Are you all right? Or I will like stroke her hair.
She's unconscious at this moment. Do you want to wait till she wakes up?
No,
I'm
we don't
starting
have
to
time.
stand and move over to you and starting to try and get you to move.
All right, I'm gonna go with Bea.
So you start moving away, and you hear behind you the younger woman kind of in an alerted, alarmed voice saying, "Mother, mother!" But you walk away.
Yeah, Janina probably give some 1 or 2 glances and then whispers to Bea. I don't know if she saw it, but I just had to do it because I worried that she needed medical care,
Right, okay.
I didn't want the Pavel situation to.
Pavel situation.
Oh, never mind. It's not important. It was the ghoul that I killed.
Oh.
That's all right.
Oh dear.
So that's why I did it, because I don't want it to happen again. But she should be all right.
I think we need to keep you topped up a little bit more frequently.
Yeah, I think that's true. What about you? Are you feeling better? Also, thank you. Thank you for intervening.
We look out for each other. That's what we're here for.
Yes, we do. And I'm gonna hug her by the shoulders, and we will go the rest of our way.
A touching, emotional moment from 2 monsters.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think this is a good place to take a break. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you'll stay with us. And yeah, see you in a bit.
Bye.
Uh,
And welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. And let's jump right back in. To Mara. And as you enter the lounge, you see few people there that you recognize. Bruno is playing the piano. His ghoul is standing next to him, watching very attentively. He's playing fairly calm, sad melody, very pleasant. That seems to fill this whole room, this background, sadness. You see, Rahela isn't here. You see Elisa sitting and reading. You see Fabian and Stefania sitting and chatting where the two readers usually sit, but the primogen isn't there. And you see Antoni, who starts walking towards you as he sees you. I assume you reveal yourself when you're in the room, or
Yes.
do you stay hidden?
No, I reveal myself as soon as as soon as she see Antoni, she remembers that there are other things on the plate beside her side. So Mara smiles, but she seems I think she seems a bit tense.
He comes up to you.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm glad to see you. I know you wanted to speak with me.
Yes. Since I have to solve a little problem, I probably think I'd like later to have a chat with our new Malkavian in town and see what he can tell us of useful about his friends, what exactly he told to whom, and so on. You have a chance to speak with him about this situation?
I didn't try to so far. I believe a bit more time
Yes.
might make him more cooperative in that matter. What plan do you have for dealing with the situation, if I may inquire?
Well, I know a bit about what he told to whom, but I have first I have to make sure we are not missing anyone, so that the only loose train we have to wrap up are the one we are aware. And then I know who his other friend and the other people involved are, and I want to have a good look at them and see what they are doing, and maybe giving them I don't know, a bit of a scare or a logic explanation, a logic but natural explanation, like stress or post-war stress. We're now taking care of him. Don't worry, he will write you, and things like that. Maybe this will be enough without resorting.
Well, that would certainly be convenient, but Well, from what you've told, it seems that at least two of these people know significantly more.
I have to say, to see them once more, and I see what exactly they are up to. I'm for sure I'm not going to sit there and wait for them to live their happy life like anything happened, because I'm pretty sure they will not forget on their own things. So I have to see exactly how things are, how to better deal with them. I'd prefer to avoid more violent solutions, but I have to see what they're up to.
I understand.
I know where they used to.
I just hope you're prepared to do what will be necessary. For your sake.
I've given my word. I am a man of my word.
I don't doubt that. I will speak to Leonard.
Yes.
Believe he will become more amenable shortly. I can let you speak to him now, but I'm not sure if he would share any information. It's a delicate situation. I don't want to antagonize him more than necessary.
Yes, just let me know when, in your opinion, he will be ready to have a discussion about this. It doesn't have to be today, but in the future, to make sure there are no other friends, no other people here talking about this. Just make sure. If you have other means to make sure of that, I don't know. I don't have supernatural means.
Of course, we of course can get some information from his ghoul as well, but I believe it would be a good step for Leonard to help us in this situation.
Yes. Just let me know when you think he's ready to have a discussion. Because at some point, thank you.
It won't be long. Next night, maybe one after.
And thank you for what you have done.
Don't mention it. I just hope I can help him settle into our society.
And that's make two of us. Let's hope. Other things I can help you with?
No, I won't trouble you any longer.
No, don't worry. I'll politely smile and politely say bye for now.
He nods to you and starts walking away.
Mara probably will walk towards Bruno and listen to the music. She will just make a little nods to of greeting, but she will not speak to anyone really. Yeah. She will just listen to the music for now.
Some people nod back to you. Elisa smiles at you. The others completely ignore you.
For us, she will not notice that, probably. For us.
And you see Felicia walk in as well and smile towards you. And she comes up and sits next to you. But she doesn't say anything.
Mara smiles and doesn't engage her for now. She just listens to music.
The music is very soothing, but very sad. What are you thinking about as you listen?
Probably her mind is a bit blanker right now. She's terrified because she has not really met him after after her embrace, and she does not exactly know what she will do at the moment she see him again, and she doesn't really know how she feels about him. It's a bit like a between shock and terror. So she probably is quite blank, at a completely blank slate at the moment.
And you sit like this for a while. Bruno finishes this melody and picks up a different one, a bit livelier, more unsettling. Starts playing. Moving his head, his fingers moving very nimbly, skillfully over the keys of the piano. And you see Clemens coming towards you. He came from the smaller door leading to the private part where some kindreds have their offices. He comes up to you.
Clemens.
Mar, I'm afraid I don't have the greatest news. The prince is unwilling to let you in on the hearing of your sire. She said, it's none of your concern.
I understand.
I'm sorry. If you need to talk to somebody, I'm also not going to be there. I know this whole thing must really be difficult to bear.
Who is going to be present?
Well, from what I understand, the primogen who are here, and the prince. That's about it.
Okay.
It's pretty routine affair, as I'm told. No need to assemble the court.
I understand. Well, thank you anyway. I'm not exactly, let's say I'm not exactly our primogen favorite. So if you happen to know something about what will going on in that room, I greatly appreciate if you said that to me. I can exactly go to the primogen and ask. I think that
was pretty furious with him, but she can be like this. It doesn't really mean much. Ultimately, the question is, in her words, whether he can make himself useful to somebody. I know he embraced you without permission, but many committed such transgression before, and Prince didn't quite declare an amnesty, but has been merciful in most instances.
yes. You think she will be merciful in this?
I think that's likely.
I understand.
Unless he proves to be uncooperative or unrepentant. Or if someone really insists otherwise, but I don't think Wolf will. I can convey a message from you to Wolf if you would like me to.
No, don't worry. If Wolf think that something happening in that room is my business to know. She will probably let me know, but I think, well, let's see how things go. Let me know if you heard something. If you
Of
heard
course.
Thank you, Clemens.
I'm sorry I couldn't help more.
You tried. It was not your fault. You at least try. That
They
counts.
usually don't let neonates in on those things.
I imagined as much. But you tried. That doesn't matter. If I can help you at some point in the future, just let me know.
I'll keep that in mind. And
Another thing, I don't exactly know, my sire. In your opinion, after this little chat with the power structure, he will go straight home. He will stick around. We will see him in court. What do you think?
I believe if he's granted the mercy, he will be expected to, as Wolf put it, make himself useful one way or the other. In which case, I imagine he would frequent this place, at least occasionally.
I understand. Thank you.
He looks to you with a strange expression for a moment.
Insight check. Want to know?
Yeah,
Just
roll perception and empathy. Difficulty 6.
Four successes.
4 successes. It seems like he's not telling you something, and he's looking to you with compassion, and he wants to be delicate, and he is holding something back.
What? Come on. Tell me. What aren't you telling me? I'm not a delicate flower as I look.
I didn't mean to imply that. I just don't think there's a need. You can talk it out with him. There's no need to gossip.
It's gossip you want to talk about in private? You can.
Oh no, well, for your
Okay.
sake maybe.
Well, let's gossip. It's what this place is all about, right?
And he takes you through the door he came through to a room nearby.
Yes.
Pretty standard, similar to the one where you fed once. With desk, some books on the shelf, some papers, some binders. He sits in an armchair, stands next to a wall, rests his elbow on his knees and his head on his elbows, looking to you. Well, I have heard some of the chat. You just had with him, and he seemed very strange talking about you. He said you were a mistake. I don't know if it was an excuse. I got an impression there was something deeper in there. But he's always been a resentful man. I don't know how you feel about him, but I thought it might be hurtful to hear.
So, he's angry at me?
Possibly, or bitter at you, at himself, at the world. He was always apparently an angry man.
Yes. Well, I'm glad. If he hates and is angry with himself, I am very glad. If these feelings are towards me, I'm happier still.
Well,
The hate is mutual.
he looks to you very seriously for a moment. I hope you will find it in your heart to forgive him. Living with resentment and hate is ultimately harmful to you.
Forgive him.
For your own sake.
Why?
And for your soul. For peace of mind. I've seen what hate and resentment can do to people. It ends up hurting them rather than the ones they hate. It's poison.
I don't know what AIDS gate can do to a soul. But I don't think that is worse than turning the soul of a human in the soul of a monster. Don't you think?
Your soul is still human. And you can keep it that way. If you don't succumb to the dark urges that are part of our condition. As they are part of human life.
We can choose what to do with what we have and we are. But that we are monsters, we are, and that is what we will always be. And I like gesture at my face, we should know that better than anyone else.
Oh, trust me, I never forget. I just believe that even we aren't beyond redemption.
I don't know about redemption. I am fully intended to avoid. How can I say? I fully intend to try to make. I don't know if I can make some good with what I have. I don't know, but if I can help others, I will. But I don't know if there can be ever, I don't know, going back. That what I was, the human, is dead.
Not in this life, no. I'm sorry. Maybe I overstepped my bounds.
No,
I would just hate
no, don't.
to see you burn yourself out because of that man.
Oh, I will not give him the satisfaction of taking away even more things from me. He just did that once. He took away everything I have, everything the human have. Well, he took away the human also from under some fashion. Mara, well, what Mara is, what Mara have, he will never touch again. He will not take away anything of Mara.
Don't let him. And he looks to you with certain sadness.
You are very kind, you are a very kind man, but keep your sadness for the living, not for the dead. We have beyond.
We all deserve compassion. I hope you will learn that with time. I'm afraid I should head away now.
Not worry.
You
Thank
can
you.
stay here if you want some solitude, or you can go back.
I'll go back to the light of the stage where Mara belongs, because she's not a creature of the darkness.
He gives you a faint smile and opens the door for you.
She smiles, but her smile is a bit creepy more than happy, and she goes back.
What are you feeling after this conversation?
Probably Mara have never thought before about soul and things like that, so it's something new to think about. She's very disappointed of not being able to witness her sire trial, so to speak. And she now has a very high opinion of Clemens. She really respects him, but she also she struggled to understand how you can really forgive someone like her sire. She thinks she doesn't know if she ever be able to be like doesn't care about him anymore, really, but forgive him is like, how can you do that? But she's a bit deep in thought about these other things, but she's pretty disappointed. It was like a she was very terrified about that, and having suddenly not going to happen is like okay, good, but disappointing. So, but she goes back.
And you go back.
Stunning.
And Felicia comes back to you and takes your hand. Meanwhile, there, Janina, you are walking to your meeting with the Ventrue primogen. It is a little bit of a walk, but it's not incredibly far. And finally, you arrive at the place, Chopin Street number 1, and you see a fairly big, wide building, several stories high, where outside the sign says that it belongs to the Central Committee of Polish United Workers' Party. You have in your notebook note that at entrance you should ask for Mrs. Avchevska.
Head up to the entrance then.
So you head to the entrance. It is locked, but there is a bell you can ring.
Are we on
As you-
time?
Oh, yes, you are on time.
Good.
You had to walk a bit faster, but it's not a very long walk. So you made it just on time. You don't have much time to spare.
Ring the bell then.
You ring a bell, and you wait for a moment until you start hearing footsteps coming from inside of the building. And you see a figure of an older woman walking very straight, with her hair put up in a neat bun, wearing glasses, and dressed in very neat jacket and skirt, who opens the door for you.
Good evening. I was looking to speak to Miss Zarichevska.
All right, you must be Miss Wozniak, Miss Shivak, and I was told there would be one other.
To attend this evening. She sent her apologies along with us.
Well, I understand. I'm Mrs. Archetska. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
She smiles. There is something severe about her whole face and her posture, but she is being polite.
I will just put on perfect manners and
And I will
basically
try to
emulate a
pass
lot of the.
numbers.
I basically emulate a lot of the posture.
Mm. Please follow me. The master is waiting.
Of course. Follow her quietly.
Yeah.
And she leads you up the stairs and through a corridor and up another stairs. You see that the building is fairly new. There isn't much in the ways of decoration yet, although you see the sculptures of some workers as a decoration and some hammers and sickles on the walls. And she stops in front of quite big door and knocks on it. Someone says to come in. She goes inside. And you hear her explaining that you have arrived, one of them is missing, and sends her apologies. And then someone saying, send them in. And she opens the door for you. Please come in.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you come in, and you see the man you saw at the Elysium the other night. A rather big man with silvery grey hair and facial hair, sitting at the big desk in a room with bookshelves which have some books on them but are empty. And behind him, you see a white eagle on a red background, which you would recognize as a Polish national emblem, which does not have a crown now, as was the symbol of the Polish communists. And you see a hammer and sickle next to it as well, both quite prominently displayed behind him. And you step into the office. He gestures to two chairs. And there is a third one as well, but Mara's not here. Please, sit down.
Thank you, sir. I'll take a
Thank
seat.
you.
Don't be alarmed by all this surrounding. The insignia of power change, and we must change our habits accordingly.
Of course, sir.
Although you are too young to have had to worry about it so far. But if you prosper, you will understand in time.
Thank you for your advice, sir.
It's regrettable that your companion couldn't be here.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. She sends her apologies. Is he waiting for an explanation, or is he?
He gives a little pause and considers you.
I'm afraid she was given some news just as we were leaving with regards to the trial of her sire, who is,
Oh, yes, I believe I've heard of that matter. I'm sure it's just a routine thing.
Of course,
The
she's still
prince
very,
will take care of it in no time.
of course. But yes, she's young and was put on the spot, so.
Well, nothing to do. I understand the youth is more volatile in their judgment.
Yes, sir.
I trust you will convey my proposition to her.
Of course.
I'm
yes.
still prepared to extend it to her as well. I was very impressed with her behavior last night.
Thank you, sir. I'll be sure to pass that on.
Cornelia spoke to me about you, particularly about you, Miss Wozniak, and your desire to deliver justice to a traitor who wronged both her, and Clan Ventrue.
Yes, sir.
As I mentioned, I have a proposition for you and your associates. If you are willing to work for me in accomplishing that goal and other goals that further the prosperity of the Camarilla, I would be prepared to extend my patronage to you and help you to not just get rid of your enemy, Miss Wozniak, but also help you prosper and grow in this community.
Thank you, sir. That is a generous offer.
For a start of our cooperation, I would want you to perform definitely dangerous, but important and relatively simple task. We have located recently a Sabbat haven, and I know that Sheriff his hounds have their hands full as it is. So, in my last conversation with the prince, I offered to take care of the matter and investigate the place. I would like you, if you were willing, to cooperate with me on that and in the future, to go there, see what you can learn about the Sabbat who frequents the place, and also look for the possible signs regarding the whereabouts of some of our people who went missing.
Right.
How does it sound?
That sounds very reasonable, sir. Janina, I turn to her. Your thoughts?
Exchange look with Bea and try to see what she's thinking about it, and if she's nodding and saying, I will also nod and yes, it sounds reasonable and a very generous offer.
I don't want to pressure you to give me a final answer now, although, of course, time is of the essence.
Of course.
As Sabbat moves frequently, and we don't often get an opportunity to come after them directly. Their numbers have quite changed since what they used to be. So any information about their new makeup, following the upheaval that we witnessed in this city, would be most valuable. But you can, of course, have some time to think it over and talk it over with your missing companion.
Of course. Would you mind giving me the address? I was looking into an issue recently, and I just want to cross-check it with an area I was already looking into.
Of course. And he describes, he gives you an address of the ruins of the Holy Trinity Church in Solet neighborhood. which is indeed around one of the places on your map.
And that was one of the ones that I was looking at the other evening?
Yes.
Right.
Um,
I think I've probably already circled those areas.
yeah.
Yes, that checks out.
He looks curiously to you as you're
Yes.
thinking about this.
I have a ability to see omens, and there have been multiple descriptions by both myself and other members of my clan about a darkness that's growing in the city. Something got stirred up in the bombings. And last night I was looking into areas that I thought might be related to that, and this was one of those areas.
Well, that's the most valuable insight.
Thank you, sir.
What were the other areas?
I will give...
He gestures to you to have a look.
I will pull out my map and show him the areas that I had. I also believe that the darkness is slowly closing in on us as a whole. I'm currently uncertain as to whether that is the hotel or whether that is us in general. Unfortunately, the omens are occasionally a little vague. So I'm
I
still...
understand. I'm familiar with the gifts of your clan.
That
could be the bishop playing some trick, but then you said something else that awakened.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this information.
Not a problem, sir.
And he writes down some of that.
Of course.
Now, as I said, I don't want to pressure you.
No, of course.
Cornelia will be at the Elysium tonight and the following night. You can give her your answer to her after you've consulted with your companion.
Of course.
And I assure you that if you agree to work with me, I will make sure that you are provided for.
That is very generous. Thank you, sir. Might also inquire the nature of some of the other tasks you had in mind for us, if that is not...
Well, we will follow up on the information
of course.
You will find at the Sabbath Haven and see how we can move from there to
yes, of course, sir.
serve justice to our common enemy. I assure you, Miss Woźniak, that my clan is very invested to bringing justice to the one who hurt one of our own.
Of course, sir, and I appreciate that. And there's this slight sort of flicker of darkness sort of in the back of her eyes. She says that. Of course, sir.
I believe that will be all, unless you have any more questions.
Janina, do you have anything further you wish to add?
No.
Okay. Then we won't take up any more of your time, sir, and thank you very much for seeing us.
Yes, thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Okay. And I suppose we should...
Yeah, he just makes a gesture which indicates
excellent.
You can
go
Sorry.
out. Yeah, very well.
Janina.
We shall do so.
Yeah. How are you feeling throughout all this? What is going through your head?
Well, I think first she thinks that, yeah, great. Now we will do another thing for another kindred that I'm not personally interested in, but at the same time, I know Bea is very invested in finding Arek. That's what I try to concern myself with, but at the same time, I'm not very comfortable around people like this man. I don't know. it just he seems like he wants to buy us, and all of the things that he says about like that we are going to thrive, and etc. I just don't feel good about it, because these people, it never ended well when they were human, and this one is not human. So I'm very about him, but I don't feel like we really can refuse. So I will let Bea decide if they want to take his offer, but it just lets me think more about how I'm not very happy in this situation, that I just don't want to spend my own life doing things for other people, especially people like this who are trying to, I don't know how to say it, like they're too powerful and they want to impose that power over others, and I don't like it.
And you step out into the corridor where Mrs. Archeska is waiting. She looks to you, says, "Please follow me," and starts walking and takes you back to the exit. She bows slightly. "Thank you very much for coming. Have a pleasant night."
Thank you for
And you as
having
well.
us. Good
Take care.
evening.
And you step out onto the street outside the brand new building.
I think I'm gonna be silent before we at least go a bit far away.
I pull out my notebook and quickly scribble.
And when we are safe enough, far away from the place, I'm gonna ask Bea, what do you think about it?
It is obviously very transactional, but at present we are without a haven. We are without any form of privacy, and we don't have that much in the way of social clout or political pull. And I really want Arik out of the picture.
Yes,
So
I gather that. That's probably my main motivation, to help you get rid of him, get justice.
Yes.
And yes, we need a haven.
Yes. As much as it's nice to be close to others of our kind, I think having our own roots and some form of privacy would be nice.
That's totally what I think.
Yes.
I just don't really understand what he really wants us to do. Like, he wants us to go there and observe. I don't understand how much dangerous it's gonna be. Like, do we need
It's the
to?
Sabbat.
I know. I mean, like, do we need to engage them, or just we need to be just?
I think there is a part of it that is observing and watching movement and counting numbers, but I also think there's a part of it that might involve investigating the house more thoroughly, and seeing whether there's any evidence of any of our people that haven't come back.
Yes. Like the Toreador, the child of Fabian. One of the Toreadors, his child is missing.
Then yes, I suppose so.
Yeah. And do you think, honestly, that we are up for the task?
Yes, I think so.
All right. And I believe you.
What do you really think, Bea?
I think that if we're smart about it, then yes, as long as we don't rush into it, which I recognize that Janina and Mara are a little prone to doing, but to be fair, this is more emotionally high stakes for me. So I think I'm hopeful that there's less of an inclination to do that on their parts. So I think that potentially we can, as long as there's nothing under there that we're not expecting, but hopefully with the combined effort of my foresight and our competencies, we should be able to. I might have to ask Felicia and Mara to teach me obfuscate for such an outing.
House pigs, coming.
We could trade. It'll be delightful. So yes, I think that yes, but only as long as we're smart and
All right.
make good use of our strengths.
Of course. And you are walking back towards Hotel Bristol. Or is there anything else you wish to do?
No.
I just think that we chat about Mara and talking about her, how she's doing, and
yeah, I've still got that creeping feeling of doom over the back of my shoulder.
Maybe it was not, maybe it was just because of your nightmares. Maybe it just lodged itself into Mara because she was there and she was expressing this pain and fear. Maybe it's nothing.
I hope you're right.
We will find out in a bit. Let's keep our hopes up. I'm sure Felicia did take care of her.
Yes. Mother takes good care of us.
Yes. Are you happy with her? Does she make you happy?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm kind of envying you for having a sire that cares so much about you. I wish my sire was still.
I lean over and give Janina a tight hug.
And I hug her back. And I think that maybe Felicia's not a good person by human standards, but maybe it's just how life is, and maybe this is our new life, and if Bea's happy with how she is now, and maybe that's right. That's how it's supposed to be.
Sorry, at first I thought you were talking in character there. I was like, oh, okay.
All right, no,
That took me a moment.
Don't think that's said in character.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and you walk back towards Hotel Bristol, where Mara, Felicia just takes your hand as you come back and looks to you with a slight smile. How are you holding up, my dear?
It's an eventful night, but I'm a strong horned girl. I can make it. We will see. I'm pretty curious to see this whole thing through. I don't know what will happen, but I suppose we will know soon enough.
I'm sure whatever happens, you will make it through.
Oh, yes.
As you said, you are a strong-hearted girl.
Yes, it's the
He pats you on, like one of the horns slightly.
she chuckle a little more sincerely at that and yes, I'll do that, but let's say that it's always the collateral damage that worries me about me. But
Oh,
probably.
I'm sure you'll handle everything
Okay,
in a very
thank you.
appropriate manner.
Absolutely.
But if you need anything, you can always talk to me. You know that.
Yes. I mean, yes.
Your sire, I think, is the most irresponsible man.
My sire. Let's wait and see how it goes. But let's see. If like it's very likely he will not be, I don't know, burned alive or something like that. Just take an eye out for him because I don't think he's very happy with me. And I don't want for the few friends I have to be caught in this little disagreement between us.
She makes a slightly even like offended face, like how dare he when you says he isn't happy with when you say he isn't happy with you. Like, well, the man abandoned you to your own devices when you were freshly embraced. I certainly not gonna be intimidated by one such as this.
Nothing in the world I think can intimidate you, Mum, but
Oh, my dear, there are such things, and it's good to know our limits.
let's say that is a monster, Felicia. Be very aware. Be just, probably it will never bother you, but just in case, keep an eye out, okay?
Of course, my dear. And she gives you a bit of a hug. Well, she puts her arm around you. Shall we listen to some music?
Yes, she
Pure
seems a
thoughts there was
bit.
something.
She seems a bit awkward, like your parents are arguing. It's like, okay,
Mom, you're embarrassing me at
Mom.
the Elysium.
yes, there's a little bit of that, but she seems more like her usual flamboyant self now. So but she's like, but she goes to listen to music. And I also keep an eye if I see, I don't know, important people suddenly like leaving altogether some room. Some signs that the meeting is over, basically.
Indeed, you keep an eye out, and some time passes, but in the end, you see the door indeed opens, and Zygmunt, the Bruja primogen, steps through it, together with a blonde-haired, fairly young-looking, slightly more plump woman who is walking by his side, and they're in a conversation. And you wait a bit more. And then you see the door open again. And Mihail Orwo, the Triader primogen,
Yes,
dressed in his sleek black suit.
yes,
steps in. And the person holding the door for him, who follows, his step, to whom he turns, and starts continuing the conversation, you recognize, because he's wearing the face that your sire wore before, of a man in his 30s. He's not looking particularly handsome. He has a little bit of facial hair, but kind of messy. Some of his skin looks a bit dry. He's losing a little bit of his hair, but it's recognizably the same facial shape as he would present to you. He is wearing his coat decorated with a golden thread in very tight patterns that from a distance makes it look like it's all just made out of gold, but with more of a texture to it. And you see that the coat is now looking a bit dusty in some places. There are a couple of loose threads. In some places, there is a place around the shoulder on the back where some of this golden threads got torn off and some of the black underneath is revealed. And he is walking alongside the other primogen, who talks to him. And he is describing, he's talking about some fabrics and some like new designs in fashion, and asks your sire's opinion, but doesn't really let him finish, and just goes on to tell what he thinks would be a nice adjustment to it. And your sire just walks and nods and follows him.
Okay. If a bomb will fall in the exact space, we will get rid of the wars of the camarilla of the city.
But strangely enough, it doesn't.
She's like a bit. She's shocked for a moment. If someone is watching at her, they will saw her freeze completely. And she can't believe she really see him. And he's like the dog of the Toreador primogen. And both these facts together are... For a moment, she's very shocked. And she probably if she's sitting, she will stand up, and probably she will look at that. She will not be able to for a moment to like dissimulate that she is looking straight at them. And he looks different.
Well, he looks like a more, like less refined version of the same face. That's how you recognize that it's in fact the same
he looks
person.
He
and
looks,
by his clothes.
He looks
he looks like he put less effort into his outfit.
Yes, but he looks like he's at ease, that is happy.
Roll perception and empathy. Difficulty is 6.
Nope. She's
You have nothing.
No, she's probably too shocked to.
You can't. And as he's walking, he walks like Mikhail walks to his usual chair, and he just gestures to Abelard, your sire, towards some chair, which he then goes to and picks up to bring over. And as he does, he looks around and looks to you and freezes as well for a moment.
My eyes bore like into his like he could if she could like burn him with her eyes alone, she would do that. She has probably it's difficult to judge her feelings, but the intensity with which she's looking at him is is something.
Self-control and subterfuge to contain your feelings.
Subterfuge. I have subterfuge. Yes, I have. And subterfuge.
Self-control.
Okay. No. Difficulty?
6.
3 successes.
Okay, you stay composed. He just looks to you. You have no idea what he's thinking. And then he brings his chair over and sits by the side of the other primogen, who starts gesturing to him and draws Fabian's and Stefania's attention to him and starts explaining something about...
He looks subservient to them.
Yes. Well, to Mikhail specifically.
An expression of like disgust across Mara's face. She will turn and leave the room.
So you turn and leave the room. Felicia comes after you.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure you're okay, my dear. If you want to be alone, I won't trouble you.
Alone or with other people doesn't change anything. You are free to follow me or to stay here as you want. Doesn't change.
She nods her head and she follows you.
I go. She will probably stand in front of the door, not knowing exactly where she wants to go. She thinks about Dominic for a bit, but she's not sure if she wants to talk with him. Right, she doesn't want to bring bad memories to him. She thinks about the girls, and that she probably would have been better with them than here. And she pays for a bit, and then she probably goes to a room.
Felicia follows you, but she doesn't go into the room with you.
Mara doesn't close the door, not knowing.
If you don't lock the door, then after a moment she comes in and just sits in a chair and takes your hand.
You can go to wait for your child, Janina, if you want. I'm not going to set the place on fire. Don't worry.
You're very distressed. She looks like, when you look at her hands are shaking a bit and she's obviously in pain.
Mara retreats her hand, but not like she's not a brusque gesture, just like slowly retreat her hand, like I'm causing you pain.
It's nothing. It's not you, my dear. It's just...
Don't worry.
Just something I
know.
I have to grow used to.
Don't worry. You don't have to bear the pain for me. There's nothing to be done. I just don't exactly know what to make of all this. He's the Toreador dog now. I'm being embraced by that pathetic, creepy little man.
She just
He's
gives
the
you.
one.
She gives you a hug at this.
She doesn't seem not bothered by it, but neither seems like she's her mind is in okay.
Right. Are we back now? Okay.
It seems like her mind she's thinking and she's not really realizing what she's happening around her. She doesn't react in any particular way to be hugged.
Are there any emotions running through you?
It's strange because she has just saw the man who have literally destroyed her life and take everyone and everything from her because she obliterated her human life in any way. And he looks like just some sort of underling of the Toreadors, and he looks pathetic, and it's both. It is like she has built so much around this creature, and she is confronted by the fact that she has her life ruined by a loser, basically. And it's like it's really unset. It's really like okay, my story is pathetic.
Does it make it worse?
Yes, I was destroyed by not a super arch villain like a powerful monster. My life was destroyed by an idiot, and for her it's like or is awful. Is like the worst possible result because he can't even. It's not like she doesn't hate him or but the possibility she has some vague possibility. She has some vague like maybe he will explain things. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we really can have some sort of connection, and it's not the case. But also, it's not like my archenemy to destroy. My life it was destroyed by really little more than an accident. Is it really difficult to process for her? Is it like it's much worse in a sense that she imagined.
Yes, imagine so. And Felicia just hugs you. And she doesn't say anything more. She's just there hugging you. You feel her shaking, but she doesn't let go.
After a while,
After a while, she pulls away. But
realizing that she's hurting Felicia, she go, let's
It's
let's go
alright.
wait for the others. Don't worry.
I believe they will come here. Or I can bring them here, if you'll be here.
No, don't worry. No, don't worry. She will go back to the Elysium, and she'll just sit on a random seat and look at the floor in.
Meanwhile, yeah. Bea, Janina, you arrive back at Hotel Bristol. Where are you heading?
What do you think, Bea? Should we go to our rooms or check the lounge?
My immediate gut reaction was flip a coin. Shall we just see the Elysium on the way? Since I imagine we get there first.
All right.
Check there first, and if they're not there, we'll try the rooms.
So, Mara, you only managed to find a seat, and you see your sire still talking to the toreadors. When Bea and Janina step in, you see Mara, who just sat, and Felicia next to her. Bea, you particularly probably noticed that Felicia is shaking slightly.
I will
She's,
look at
like,
Mara.
touching her head slightly. Mara.
And do I notice Abelard? Because I know how he looks. We met. So
Yes, you do. You notice
he's...
him talking to the toreadors.
And then I quickly glance at Mara and try to assess what's happening.
Mara, I assume you try to hide all your turmoil.
Yes.
Roll self-control and subterfuge. And you, Janina, roll perception and empathy. Difficulty 6. We'll see how that plays out.
Okay.
2 successes.
I have two successes.
Roll once again. Both of you.
I have 2 successes.
3.
3. You can't quite read Mara. She seems pretty composed.
I will go to her side with Bea and give her a quick hug. How did it went? I whisper in her ear.
Would we perhaps want to go back to the rooms?
I will talk about this in our room.
All right.
Of course.
And I smile like.
Glad to see that you're okay.
Says Felicia. I will go and lie down now.
You do more than enough.
Can I help
night.
Tall Mother?
I'm afraid not with this thing, not quite.
Okay.
But thank you so much, my dear.
Yes,
I think
so-
your friend needs you more at the moment.
Yes, Mother.
And she gives you all a very warm smile. She just squeezes your arm briefly, Mara, on her way out, and looks back once again and disappears. And I assume you follow towards the room. How
Yes.
would you do? Aurora?
I probably look straight in front of me with a slightly shocked expression, difficult to read, until we are in our room.
I will probably
Yes.
glance back to Abelard and the Toreador Primogen a few times on my way back.
So you see Mikhail and also Fabian talking. You hear some words about various fabrics, and they're talking about fashion.
I maybe roll my eyes for a bit.
It's nodding, and he adds few things and few suggestions, but he's mostly listening.
Right.
And then you follow the corridor and you get to your room.
Well, one way to put it is that, let's say that probably would have been much more productive to go with you. That's one way to put it.
I lean forward and take Mara's hand.
Yeah, I will lean for the other hand and maybe give her a slight hug on the shoulder.
It's, well, it's difficult to explain, but it's like, it's not how it was supposed to be.
Did you talk with him? Did you was to work with the child?
No, he was. I think we probably never talk. It's like you saw him. It's like
I did.
the Toreador dog.
Well,
The
certainly the
like,
topics were not interesting.
he entered and they sent him to fetch chairs.
Well, no, just one chair for himself.
Yes, but details. It's like this is the person who ruined my life. This is how I died. This is how all the people I knew died. This I could have accepted that if it was like a powerful monster, an enemy worthy of my time, of my genius, and of my efforts to kill him. But this, what I am supposed to do with this? It's just my life ended for nothing. For this, what is this? It's not a grand finale. It's nothing. It's the worst. It's life ended in like the most pathetic way possible.
Maybe it was less of a finale and more of an interval.
To what?
To Mara.
What is Mara, honestly? What I can...
Mara is my sister.
Yes, and
Mara
my
helped.
friend.
Mara helped me get home when I got lost.
A map can do the same.
Not when I forget to bring the map with me.
Right.
I'm sorry. I know that you...
No, you're right.
I know that you want the spotlight on the stage and the poetic side of this. And sadly, sometimes life is just cruel. It doesn't have point or a meaning. It just does cruel things for no reason. But there are things in this world that would be worse off without you. We'd be worse off without you.
Yes, I can't imagine my own life without you. I'm sad.
I would drive her mad.
I stroked Belle's hair. I certainly wouldn't.
I
You're
do a
the
good job of it, though. I do my best. We're here for you, Mara.
Yeah.
Like you've been there for us.
You're right. I have to do something. I have to do something great. I
You
have to
get
be
the
something
chance.
great. I have to be something to behold.
You already are in my eyes.
She smiles. Thank you. But I can't. I reject this ending. The director was mad when wrote this. I will not go down with this ending.
That's good.
I have to write a better story out of this. I
With your
refuse this.
It will happen.
I refuse this. This is not how Mara will end.
Of course not.
This thing. This is my human end. The human. She the fire. No. This is unacceptable. And is just how it's just as you said, Bea, it's just a chapter when the human became the demon. Mara is not the end of anything because this ending is crap and I can't stand for a bad written ending. You understand?
Yes.
And you two, you are the main characters of this new story. So
Supporting cast, dear.
Yeah, but like, not sidekick. Almost as important as the main character. Let's say the important sidekick. So
I'll take important sidekick over villain.
So you two have to be up to the task, up to the script. We have to be. So what was of the Ventrue primogen?
Well,
What the script says.
He has a
Yes.
proposition. Sorry,
yeah.
Janina.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. That you maybe will have a chance to shine with Sabat.
Well, when you phrase it like that, it sounds so appealing.
I mean, not like joining them, but
No. He's offered potentially, if we are willing to do certain tasks for him, he'll potentially offer his patronage to us and
Yes.
can provide us with a lot of support, which could potentially lead to us. Well, this is my own. What's the word I'm looking for here?
dream.
Well, hopefully we might be able to get a haven back at some point.
Yes, you have a worthy archenemy.
Yes. I have a worthy archenemy who, well, hopefully we will remove him from existence sooner rather than later. But the task currently is to look into a Sabbat haven.
Of course, you have more important things to do than risking his life. I understand.
I imagine a lot of the elders consider it that way, but
Well,
it's transactional, but at least it's clean cut at that point.
well, patronage is good. Patronage could mean having my theater back, for example.
Potentially. Also, interestingly, and non-coincidentally, I did a reading last night on the area where I think the darkness is growing. And I pull out the map. And the building that he's wanting us to investigate is right here. And I point slap bang in the middle of an area I've circled.
So, us against the darkness and Sabbath.
Alternatively, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Incidentally, also the Toreador dog could try to do something. I don't think he's very happy with me. Just saying.
Well, if he wants
So
to
keep an eye
sabotage
out.
us, then he's going to irritate Clan Ventrue because they want this sorted, so...
Well, discretion was never been his strong suit from what I saw.
He wears a suit of gold, doesn't he? It's not
Yes.
particularly discreet.
No. Well, one day I'll have him buried with the damned coat, I can assure you. But no.
Or alternatively, left for the sun in that coat.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, the Ventrue primogen was very impressed with you the other evening.
Oh, thank you. Yes. It can be useful.
Exactly. I'm pretty certain he views this very much as pawns to further his own gain, but that's to be expected. So.
From the little I learned, until we have some sort of power, we are just there aren't boys or there aren't girls in our cases of the ones most powerful than us. That is pretty everyone right now.
Of course, yes.
So we have to climb the ladder.
Yes. We've got to put some work in.
Yeah, I don't want to climb the ladder. I just want to live a quiet life. But if we need to do this to find a heaven, then I'm willing to do it for us.
I will make sure you have to do the less unpleasant things I can.
Yeah. Well, this one doesn't seem as much unpleasant as dangerous. Because I would like to get rid of any Sabbat.
Yes, we lack power too. I'm a good scout, I'm a smooth talker. A horned smooth talker. But I can't punch a wall if I'm in front of it. So I'm not very useful, I think, in a Sabbat hunting mission.
Well, we are to investigate and presumably not stir up the nest. So, to be honest, scouting is actually quite useful in this instance.
Yes, but the last few times things escalated quickly, so I think we have to plan for hope for peace, but prepare for violence.
Fair enough.
And with that, is there anything else you wish to do this night? Or
Well, I guess if we're in agreement that we're going to take this on, go find Cornelia and give her the news, because I think it's better to speak to her sooner rather than later.
So you deliver the news to Cornelia. She nods. She is in Elysium. She nods her head. Thanks you for the information. I'm sure the primogen will be pleased.
I'm glad to hear it.
I will be around for the next few nights. You can ask me any questions that might arise and inform me of your progress. I will deliver the news to him.
Excellent. Keep you updated.
Janina, Mara, do you want to do anything else, or do you just enjoy your company?
I will probably just enjoy Mara's company and try to make her thoughts about something else. But inside I think that I really need to have a chat with Abelard. So he knew what I think about him. And
A chat or a chat?
It will depend.
Well, you know.
I see if it's not terribly late and if Janina wants to, I probably make a quick visit to our secret Elysium to see, just to watch Dominique dancing. Not, I will probably not talk to him, just watch him dancing for a while.
He is there. Indeed, he's dancing. And
So if Janina wants to come along...
If she invites me, I'm going.
So you watch him dancing for a bit. He is exquisite as always, leaping through the air as if he was floating.
Probably Mara will cry a bit while she watches him.
Crying.
If I notice her crying, I'm just lean into hug and hold her.
And he is completely lost in his dance. And finally, you return to your room. And you start feeling more tired as the sunrise is approaching. Janina, what are you thinking about before you fall asleep?
I think I mainly think about Mara and Bea, that they are the ones that I care about the most, and that I'm going to try everything to keep them safe. And I still a bit worry about Bea, but at the same time, I just imagine that maybe that's just how things are, and if she's happy, that I'm happy too. And I don't have any drive to trying to hold on her humanity back, and I kind of stop my hate towards Felicia. I just think she's really caring for Bea, and I just that these things are how things are right now. And then I think about Mara and that her sire is here, and that I hope that she's going to forget about him and move on, and that she's going to be happy as well. That's
Mara.
all.
Yeah. What's going through your head, Mara, before you fall asleep?
She probably thinks how much also watching Dominique dancing, she was thinking about how much was lost because of one man, and is kind sad, but she realized that probably, as Bea said, life is often unfair, but she is fully determined to climb the ladder and make something out of this, because she can simply, okay, life is unfair. I'll fix this in
All
that.
right.
And she
I'm
hugs
gonna-
Janina.
Yeah. I'm gonna hug her back.
And you fall asleep, hugging each other,
Aww.
each with your own thoughts. Meanwhile, there, I assume at some point you return to Felicia's room.
Yes.
You find her lying on the bed, shaking slightly, but she smiles at you when you come in.
How are you feeling, Mother?
Slowly getting better.
Glad.
Can you please read to me for a bit?
Of course.
I need something to occupy my thoughts.
Would you mind if I just wrote something quickly in my journal, and then I'll get to
Oh,
that?
oh, of course not.
And I make a note that I still need to pass the map layout to the sheriff's people. And then I will pull out a book of poetry and do my best to read to her.
And you read to her. And she calms down a bit. She stops shaking. And then there is time to get ready for bed. And she gets up. You see her reach for her head a bit, try to massage it slightly. But then she composes herself and changes. And you change as well. And you lie down on the bed. And what are you thinking about before you fall asleep?
Opportunities. And hoping that accepting this offer was the right thing to do. But I don't have time to check an omen, so I'll just have to leave myself wondering whether I've made the right decision.
And with that, you fall asleep. And thank you so much for playing. And thank you to everyone watching. With that, we will end for this week. We will be back in 2 weeks, which I believe is the 27th of April. At the same time, that's 6:30 p.m. British Summer Time. 7:30 p.m. In, I think, most of mainland Europe. And hope you will join us again and see how the whole situation develops. Thank you so much for being with us. And see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.